Okay, welcome back everybody. This is Triumph of Man casting the Premier League Season 3. This is game number 2, Fnatic Raid Call versus Moscow 5. Fnatic currently holding a 1-0 advantage versus Moscow 5, basically storming the Dire base and winning a very crushing 20-minute victory there versus Moscow 5. Moscow 5, they had a great start, unfortunately fell apart after the first couple of team fights. Fnatic just gave no quarter at all and destroyed them with a very powerful Nakes as well as Invoker. And in all honesty, the team fight potential from Batrider as well as Tidehunter was really telling during that fight as well. Looks like we've got the first ban though. Moscow 5 getting rid of the Rubik this time around. Batrider being banned by Fnatic instead this time. Say, alright, let's keep it out of your hands if we're not going to utilize it this time. And honestly, I think this is going to be a bit of a recurring theme. A lot of teams are going to start being really wary of this Batrider just because he has had so many buffs in 6.75. It's not funny. It's utterly crazy the amount of buffs that he received during that patch makeover for a lot of heroes. But anyway, it's third ban coming up now. Moscow 5 to ban the third hero. What will they get rid of? I'm just wondering. They've got the first pick. They could let something big like Nagasaran slip through, but we'll see. In fact, Nagasaran did actually slip through yesterday. It was a fantastic match with Nagasaran. There was very little buzzkill moments. That's the main thing I hate about the hero. Sometimes she just has these really big buzzkill moments, but we didn't have that happen. So hopefully we'll have another good match if she slips through here, but plenty of good heroes still left on the board. Just wondering if Moscow 5, are they going to try and secure a Chen again, or will they allow it to slip through this time? Chen actually last match didn't do a whole lot, just because every time he'd go into a fight, his creep would get hit by multiple Hand of Midas, as well as the Infest from Nakes as well, so he really just could not get the punch in there. He was pretty much just a walking heal, and that was it. So it was probably a very frustrating game for him. Moscow 5 this time, banning the Invoker, keeping him out of Fnatic's hands. One second. And it looks like Moscow 5, they will open up with a Templar Assassin. This is one of my favorite heroes. I'm always happy to see her on the field. She's a very fun, very tricky hero. Plenty of mind games you can play with her. And the question is, in Fnatic now, they will need to avoid a burst life just because Templar Assassin can counter that very nicely. Although at the same time, Templar Assassin is quite vulnerable to really annoying heroes that have lots of low damage DOTs that just sort of tick very frequently, stuff like Darkseid's Ion Shell, stuff like Venomancer, who's obviously probably the biggest case of AIDS for Templar Assassin ever. You can just knock off her refractions so quickly with wards, as well as just his poison. His numerous forms of poison are very frustrating on top of that. To boot as well, also, anybody who picks up a Yules as well is also quite frustrating. Anybody who can dominate Wildkin Warcheese. In fact, I've seen Templar Assassin go from dominating one match to getting destroyed the next match just because Chanter and Chantress make sure they get their hands and keep Wildkin Warcheese, and every time Templar Assassin goes into a fight, they send the Wildkin Warcheese tornadoes after them, and it completely screws over refractions. However, Fnatic, they decided to grab at the Venomancer, which makes plenty of sense here. Nagasaran also being grabbed up as well. Now, Fnatic, they picked up the Nagasaran, so I think this pretty much lends them towards a big AoE wombo combo, because, of course, Nagasaran, having had her damage nerfed, is not the best of situations for her, so she doesn't hit nearly as hard, especially when you consider that damage nerf also procs over to her illusion. So it's, overall, that is a pretty big. Losing 12 damage sounds pretty nasty already. Then you consider that all of your illusions, which are your late game damage source, also get nerfed a bit more. It's almost like having two skills nerfed in one. It's quite upsetting for her. But Moscow 5, now with a double pick, they decide to pick up Tidehunter, and this is definitely a great pick. Not only is he a damn good support hero, negative armor also stacks nicely with Templar Assassin, and thirdly, they keep it out of Fnatic's hands. The other thing they might want to consider, of course, is keeping Black Hole away from Fnatic Raid Call. They do not want them really having that Enigma. It could be quite problematic, and they go, yeah, you know what? We're going to make sure, basically. Now, Fnatic, they've managed to pick themselves up a great wombo combo in the form of Nagasaran. The problem is they don't have the second part of the wombo combo. They've only got the setup, which is Nagasaran's song. They don't have the big follow-up AoEs, which is stuff like Tidehunter's ultimate, Enigma's ultimate. They've got Poison Nova, which really doesn't need that so much. They don't have Vacuum because Darkseid has been banned, so this is relatively annoying for them. They just do not have the big firepower that they wanted. So, actually, I'm just trying to remember. I'm pretty sure Magnetor is still not available. Magnetor with Nagasaran could be extremely nasty as well. We'll see.
Reserve time.
One final pick for Fnatic. What are they going to grab up? They could really do with some AoE now to just kind of go. Now, in fact, Jakiro could be could be an option. He has definitely received a whole bunch of buffs. His ice path is a hell of a lot better, and Macropyre actually kind of really enjoys being comboed with the Song of the Siren. It is really powerful in that sense, just because she can help set up the Ice Pass and help set up the Macropyre. The Fnatic, they decided to pick up the Bounty Hunter though, so it looks like we might just be looking for a lot of ganks here. Fnatic now, they've got a good suicide solo in the form of Bounty Hunter, and they can get stuck in with plenty of ganks there. Venomancer is also pretty damn good at ganking, and just any kind of gold acceleration they get is extremely powerful. Chen being banned at my Moscow 5 as well. I really, honestly, I would love to see a Jakiro pick. The other option, big AoE is also coming in, they're also Treant, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of Treant. Even with the buffs, I don't think he's an A-grade hero. I think he is definitely still probably sitting about the third tier at best. He's definitely had some buffs, but I still don't think he's that good. So we'll see. And Ownerlord, who won the first game, as you can see, the pips up there up the top. Fnatic are currently up 1-0. The second series of bans, though, Fnatic now, they need to get rid of some heroes here. Supports, if Tidehunter is not being used as a side lane hero, then they've probably got the supports done. If he's not being used as a suicide hero this time, they've probably got the soft support from Nigga, hard support from Tidehunter. They could do with some kind of carry if they're playing to, or they could go with something aggressive like a Leshrac and just go for full out aggression on their bottom lane. Alternatively, they could even just try and snap up the Enchantress. Rasta would have also been completely viable as well, but he has been banned out just then. In Moscow 5, well, they've banned out the Chen. Are they going to get rid of the Enchantress as well? Both of them fulfill very similar roles. They might actually just try and snap up the Enchantress instead for themselves. They do have the first pick going into this second series of bans. They are going to take their time about this. In fact, Moscow 5 burning a lot of time once again. I think it's something we should also consider. We saw Shadow Fiend was used extremely well by Dignitas. They completely shredded their opponents with a Shadow Fog playing Shadow Fiend. I don't know if he could well combo with this current lineup here. Of course, we saw exactly how nasty he can be, and with Black Hole and Ravage, Moscow 5 could definitely use it. At the same time, Fnatic, they could also definitely utilize a Shadow Fiend at the moment. Provided, well, the only downside, of course, would be that they don't really have a lane for him. So actually, I'm going to take that back. Bounty Hunter's already going to be taking the Suicide Solo, and Shadow Fiend wouldn't want to go there. Naga Siren is likely to be in the safe lane, and Shadow Fiend does not go well 1v1 with Templar Assassin. If Shadow Fiend was being picked up here by Fnatic, it would have to be a dual lane mid. Just because it is very difficult for him to go one-on-one with Templar Assassin. Templar Assassin has better damage, she can harass him with Sideblades, and she can pretty much just not give a damn about the razors because she can bounce them all off with her refraction. It will be Disruptor getting banned. Again, that makes plenty of sense, keeping those big nasty AoEs away from Fnatic. Of course, Fnatic can pretty easily set up the kinetic wall, plus, of course, his ultimate, his Storm. So it makes sense getting rid of that if they're not going to pick him up themselves. In fact, they could have quite easily picked up the Disruptor's wall, but they do ban out the Enchantress, making sure that they can't get any of those annoying junglers, which definitely would have been quite viable, having Naga Siren push in with a jungler and Venomancer there to back him up as well. Of course, the Plague Ward's pretty decent at pushing as well. Right now, though, Fnatic are looking for a solo mid, either a solo mid or a dual mid. We've often seen Venomancer get thrown into a dual mid scenario just to help deal with a Templar Assassin. And it comes down whether or not they're going to go 2-1 or a 3-1-1. It's going to come down to whether or not they want to take that mid. I don't think they're going to pick up a jungler here. They could go with Furion, but I think it's unlikely at this point in time. Furion seems to have sort of hit the backbone, or a lot of teams aren't picking him up nearly as much as they used to.
5 seconds remaining.
Go into overtime once again for Fnatic. They really think this through. I think they need a solo mid and another support. That's their main options here. A solo mid, any kind of solo hero to go mid, and another support. The question is, it's going to come down to whether or not they can pick a solo mid that can handle Templar Assassin on their own 1v1, or if they're going to have to get some kind of support in there to help try and shut down TA. And it looks like they will finally ban out the Void. Oh, that definitely could have been a possibility. And like I said, it's good to see Void sort of rating on players' charts once again. But definitely, of course, his ultimate is quite devastating. He can quite easily set things up. Slardar is a hero that I have not seen since Since the Chinese team started getting involved in Dota 2, they started picking up the Slardar saw during the Gigabyte Dota Masters as well as the Pro Dota 2 League. Slardar was becoming quite popular there. The Chinese teams, particularly DK, were using him quite a bit indeed. Interesting choice of Slardar though. The negative armor. You see this lineup right now? They have huge physical DPS output. Templar Assassin with the negative armor from Mel. We've got Slardar and his amplified damage, his ultimate. Titan has a gush as well. That's 3 sources of negative damage there, negative armor there for damage amplification. Fnatic respond. They pick up Lina instead. Now this is going to annoy Slardar because of course he sprints. He will die to Lina pretty quickly. At the same time though, Templar Assassin is quite hard for Lina to deal with. In fact, fair bit of burst damage there in the form of Bounty Hunter and Lina, although at the same time they do have Venomancer to tick through those refraction charges. If they could time it right, they could quite easily burst down Templar Assassin. The issue is, I don't think they're going to be able to focus TA. You've got Tidehunter, you've got Enigma, you've got Slardar. All these heroes are going to be up in Raid Call's face, and basically going to be beating down a Fnatic non-stop. I honestly don't know if they're going to be able to even get close to Templar Assassin. And the question is whether or not Templar Assassin might not even bother with a blink this game. She might decide, you know, I've got so much CC in the form of Tidehunter, Enigma, and Slardar. I'm just going to walk in behind them. I'm not going to lead the way. She's going to say, I'm going to just pop down a slow, try and help Tidehunter, Enigma, and Slardar get into position, and then they're going to throw in a bunch of stuns, and I'm just going to work off that. We might even see a Manta style opening from Templar Assassin, and they finish it up with a Lich to support. I think in this case, we're likely to see Enigma take the Suicide Solo up top. We're going to see Tidehunter and Lich supporting Slardar. They have a very strong lane there. It's pretty much going to shut down Bounty Hunter as long as they bring out some counter invis to the lane. And the question is, Lina is more than likely to be a support, I think. The question is, what kind of solo mid are Fnatic going to pick up at the moment?
10 seconds.
Just waiting on their final pick there. In fact, they're really burning through this once again. 25 seconds left here. I think Lina is Lina can, you know, she plays a solo mid in a pub role, but I really feel that she's definitely going to be a support role here, just because she can work with Naga Siren quite easily. Even Venomancer as well, they can set her up for her nukes quite easily, just because of Net as well as Venomous Gale. It makes it quite easy to land those light strike arrays, so I'm expecting something else to go in the mid. They don't have much time. They are going to pick up the Windrunner. This could go either way, but I'm expecting Windrunner to take the solo mid. Don't see it all that often outside of a few players like Yamata may play the solo mid Windrunner. But we'll see what Fnatic decide to do with this. In fact, it's a hero that they're probably quite familiar with. They play a lot of heroes new, and there was a very similar hero to that called a Luna, and they were a big fan of her. They played her quite frequently. It was a very, very nasty in their hands. But now this time, I honestly do like Moscow 5's lineup a lot better here. So much teamfight potential, lots of big AoEs. You look at that lineup and you cannot do anything but get completely and utterly terrified of these ults. Chain Frost, Black Hole, Ravage, great stuns, and Slardar has one of the best power stuns in the game, provided you can get it into range. It's not just a stun, it's a slow. It's crowd control within crowd control. It is utterly painful. It's so painful. Slithering Crush there. So damn good. A slow and a stun in one. And it's AoE to boot. What more can you ask for? Enigma? No, wait a minute. Enigma appears to be jungling. He would not be going to the. He would not be suiciding with those items. Which begs a question. Tidehunter has started off with a shield. Okay, no, I think it's going to be Tidehunter taking the suicide solo top. He has opened up with a shield. I think he may actually be okay in this lane, provided he gets his early level of Kraken Shell. He should be alright for a little bit. But it is still going to be fairly hard for him to deal with it. They may actually just sacrifice those towers, similar to how Fnatic handled it last match. They just said, screw it and let those towers go. Stalliana, though, opening up with an eco build, going for that fast bottle. Stock standard stuff for Templar Assassin. Slardar, though, deciding to pick up Stout Shield and just general items there. Some pretty normal stuff from him. Enigma looking to deny a creep. In fact, it looks like they're going to get the full-on deny happening. Where's Lich? Okay, Dread says everything is black. WTF. Not dead sure what's going on there at all. Just waiting on them to unpause here. I should probably call out the player lineups at the moment. Alright, so let's have a look at this. We've got on the Radiant side, Moscow 5, Stalliana playing Templar Assassin, Dread playing Lich, Sedoid playing the Tidehunter, Nexus playing Slardar, and Solo playing Enigma. For the Dire side, Fnatic Raid Call. They will be running Oh My Schneckles on Venomancer once again, No Tail playing Lina, Era playing Naga Siren, Trixie playing Bounty Hunter, and Hanny on the Windrunner. It looks like Bounty Hunter, yes indeed, he will be doing this suicide solo there. Has opened up with some... has opened with some fairly normal items. Looks like he's going for the early Basilius. Windrunner taking the solo mid. Again, a relatively eco-friendly build there. Will be going for the fast bottle once again. Nagasiren opening up with 2 sets of rings. This looks like a Basilius. Plus, she'll be working towards a Boots of Tranquility as well. The Tranquil Boots. She'll be looking for those as well. That has actually been a pretty stock standard build for Nagasiren, going for those Tranquil Boots. It does make her extremely quick. That's like 400 base move speed. Okay, we're ready to start rolling once again. It's going to be a bit of a rough lane for Sedoy, but we'll see how he handles it. Looks like Lich is just going to try and open up and deny some creep here. Solo doing a similar thing in his lane as well.
The battle begins.
They may actually even just leave Bounty Hunter... Oh, Bounty Hunter's a solo versus Slider. Slider should be able to handle him quite easily. And Lich, yes, he's already nicked the range creep there. It looks like he won't be leaving him though. Lich will be heading to the bottom lane to help. And it looks like Bounty Hunter is going to try and jack the creep wave, similar to what Lauren Druid was doing last match as well. This has become pretty stock standard practice for suicide solos. If they can possibly jack the creep wave, they go for it. And there we go, Nexus doing what Era did. And just keeping the creep wave running around in circles, keeping them away from the town. In fact, he's probably going to stack them up. In fact, he might. A Bounty Hunter, realizing he can't go that way, decides to back up, goes the opposite way indeed. Slider, though, a little bit more resilient to taking hits from the creep. Obviously, has opened up with a shield instead. And looks like he's just going to hold them long enough for this creep wave to show up. Oh no, wait a minute. Lich's Dread is going to pull, and he's actually going to stack up a double wave instead, and then draw it back to Bounty Hunter here. And get the farm happening. Alright then. So this is somewhat unusual. The Era now going solo versus Sedoy. Era being left to his own device, although that said, that spoke a little bit too early as Lina is now here. Double damage just wearing off. There's a net. That is unfortunate. Slightly too early. She's going to land a stun. She lands a stun anyway. There's a Riptide as well. Lots of physical damage being popped out. Can they get a cast? Couple of hits in? No. Looks like the shield is going to keep him safe. Having to pop a regen already. Popping that health potion. Meanwhile, Templar Assassin is struggling a little bit in mid, 0 and 0. It looks like Windrunner as well as the help of Venomancer. They are holding him back. Alright, just keeping those refractions knocked off her. Meanwhile, Tidehunter currently sitting on 2-0. Both the mid and the top lane for Moscow 5 is struggling a little bit. Meanwhile, though, Slider free farming to his heart's content, 8, 9 and 0. Bounty Hunter now does have his Basilius, so he should be able to just use his Windwalk a little bit more liberally. And kind of expect to go for 2 levels in Shuriken and then start maxing out Janata. Seto now just going to take a bit of extra damage. He's looking for the pull here. Not going to find it though. Lina is doing a good job of keeping him at bay. Illusion Rune being picked up by Schneckles there. The Venomancer manhandling the Templar Assassin. She's not having much fun at all. The bottle is done though. She is shipping that out right now. Main thing is, at the very least, she's still getting levels. Has finished up the early bottle. Windrunner also just bringing hers out now.
Nothing for your troubles.
There we go, another stun there on Sedoy. Sedoy in a little bit of trouble. We'll just get harassed and chased back by Lina. Looks like Lina pulled a lot of gold into support items. Nagasiren now has finished up with Basilius. Also going to be looking for Tranquil Boots next. Templar Assassin struggling still. Nexus now 800 gold or so. It seems playing relatively defensive. I heard a shackle shot go off there. And it looks like Stallion in some serious trouble. They will give chase to the tower. It looks like it's doing a fair bit of damage, and they might not be able to finish this off here. And Steckles may even get away, but it looks like they're going to try and cut him off. Lich is moving, and he's gone. No, he's decided not to. A health potion was popped there by Venomancer in the end, so he will heal up before Lich can arrive. Same for Enigma, also not arriving in time. Has finished up building his soul ring there. Tidehunter going for an Anchor Smash build, stock standard stuff for Tidehunter. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, 8 and 0 there for the Bounty Hunter, compared to 20 and 6 for Nexus. Bounty Hunter's been quite cautious. Lich, though, hasn't been doing that much aggression on him. Although, there we go, the stun goes down. Can they get a nuke in here before he can fade? The Rev Wall gets thrown in anyway. Couple more hits, and nuke goes in. There's the first blood. Dread finds the first blood.
My cold embrace.
An unfortunate result there for Bounty Hunter getting picked off early, but that's alright for him. it could be like he's actually getting some last hits in, so he could be doing a lot worse. If you consider the Tidehunter currently stuck on 3 and 1, just not managed to get much experience, not managed to get much last hits in at all. Windrunner here, mostly focusing on farming with her power shot. She's leaving the harass there to Schneckles. Schneckles obviously a lot better at it. Bounty Hunter must know though, there's a Rev Ward somewhere near his location. He's got picked off last time despite hitting his Windwalk. And he needs to be quite cautious. He's got to look out for that stun now. It's becoming quite painful. It's starting to ramp up in damage. In fact, Slardar has not... when we saw Slardar getting picked up in the Chinese team, one of the things they would do was only one level in Sprint, and at level 4 they would pick up a level in their Bash. Just one level, and then they continue maxing Crush and Sprint. But in this case, Slardar has opted to go for 2 in Sprint, and then 3 in the stun. The main reason that the Chinese deviated from this build is that they decided, you know what, and this was, they started picking Slardar after one of his older buffs, which was to, it changed Sprint from 10 second, from a 10% move speed buff to a 20% move speed buff at level 1. However, the level 2 dropped from a 20% to a, well, not so much drop, but it scaled from 20% level 2 to 28% instead. So the Chinese team decided, you know what, if we get a level 1 Sprint, at level 6, or level 7, we're going to be as fast as a level 2 Sprint under the old system. So let's just get the level 1 Sprint and get 1 level in Bash. And you know what? 10% of the time, we'll get lucky. A Bash or proc. You know, maybe we'll get lucky, maybe we'll stun someone at the right moment. But we're as fast as we used to be. And the 8% at level 7, the 8% extra speed at level 7 isn't such a big deal to them. But as it is, they've stopped using Slardar anyway. So it might be down to the Europeans to make a bit of a resurgence here for the Slytherin Guard. Arrow now just being chased off there by an Anchor Smash. Doesn't really land though. Arrow now returning the favour and just trying to chase off Settle. Settle though not having any of it. Meanwhile, it's the pulling happening here from Lena. Just going to try and leech a bit of experience. Settle no, she's just going to deny experience. Then head towards the top. The double damage rune does get bottled up there by Templar Assassin. Manages to snake it out from underneath. Windrunner though, it looks like Templar Assassin a lot of trouble. Tries to teleport out. Stun comes in though, going to cancel that. She can't even meld to hide. There is a Rev Ward been popped down there. Power Shot will finish her off. Venomancer going to take the kill. Somehow getting a last hit in there with his DOTs. Power Shot unable to steal. So here it does go off. Oh no, Trixie getting stunned next to the Eidolons. There may not be any escape available from trying to juke away here. One more hit if they can find it. It looks like Enigma will get the last hit. Windrunner too slow to arrive. And Solo probably quite happy with that. See Slow being thrown in there. No Tail now has picked up some wards. The farm at the moment, I'm going to say Slardar is farming a lot stronger at the moment. He's currently 45 and 16, only 36 and 6 for the Naga Siren. I think this just comes down to Naga Siren has been getting pushed back a little bit by Anchor Smash spam here from Seto. Bit of revenge here though. Seto now taking a lot of damage. There's, oh look at the body blocks. Will it be enough though? Tidehunter does have a gush, but I don't think he can afford to turn around. It doesn't matter though, because Era as well as No Tail decided to back up there and let him go. Lich was coming to assist. It could have been a bad dive. Tidehunter is quite hard to finish off when he's got that shield up and running. Slardar though finds a kill there on Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter also gets a kill. Slardar goes in too deep against the creep wave. Have a Bounty Hunter, or at the very least Slardar did actually pick up the experience instead. Now we've got a huge dire creep wave at the moment. We're going to try and charge in here. Bounty Hunter should be able to hold this off with a few Anchor Smashes. Also has a nuke there from Lich to try and help him out. And it looks like the tower should avoid taking critical damage. There we go, Tidehunter just waiting for the creep wave to get nuked down a little bit before he bothers Anchor Smashing, or will he not even bother? Never mind. Bounty Hunter now going to return to his lane. Meanwhile, looks like Enigma is searching top for the 8-minute rune. Can he find it? And he will. It's an invisibility rune. Now Slardar pulling back to the bottom lane. They're going to continue farming. And this is unfortunate. The dire side, they know there's an invisible Enigma running around. Is he level 6 yet? He is level 6. They had to be very, very wary of this. Will they throw in a counter ward? They thrown in a preemptive counter ward there. Now Templar Assassin may figure out it's there, and looks like Solo is going to walk straight into this. The slow gets thrown. It doesn't strike though. Enigma managing to dodge there. And for people looking for Dota 2 hero builds and stuff, Dotafire.com. You can find Dotafire.com. It's a website that's a relatively new one. It's got a really nice interactive feature, and a lot of people do use that. So if you're looking for builds, like concise and easy to read builds that are updated fairly frequently, Dotafire.com. Do check that out. Used to put a few guys up there myself. We're going to see the invis being popped there by Trixie. The tower is going to get taken out likely here. It looks like they're throwing down the crap there, just scouting things out. They can see some trouble skulking around. The tower is taking a fair bit of damage. Will Fnatic charge in there? The Shackle goes down. Nexus with a tower beating on him. This is unfortunate. And now Nagasiren trying to set this up. She's going to buy some time for the tower to get denied. Will they continue in the fight? Here it comes. Fnatic getting down there on the warpath. The stun scan. They're going to try and take out Soul before he can black hole. He gets the black hole off though. It's only going to hit Lina as well as Nagasiren. They will cancel it with a shuriken. Very nicely played. And now Era going to split there. And it looks like he's in a bit of trouble. Stalliana now getting netted. The counter attack is on him. No escape at Stalliana. Tries to get in one last meld, but gets taken out. And a great response there from Fnatic, losing Lina, and they're still fighting though. It looks like Nexus may get away. Chain Frost, so going to hit all of those heroes. Fnatic taking critical damage. The stun goes down. And all those games they made instantly lost with just a stun and a Chain Frost. And now Nexus chasing after Schneckles. There comes a crush. Can he get an amp damage down? There's the amp damage. He gets finished off. Lina now with the stun. And she doesn't have the mana for Laguna Blade. I think she may regret that Dragon Slave in the end. She's got mana now for Laguna Blade. Can she get the hit into the run now? Slater running for his life. Can he get away the track? No, only level 5. He needs one more CS for the track. Dragon Slave just shaves Slater's ass. And Lina, somewhat frustrated. Bounty Hunter just gets his track now. Boy, would he be screaming in frustration. And Moscow 5, Fnatic, it looked like they had their moment there, but Moscow 5 counter-attack straight away. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Now Era going to try and take out Set over. Here comes Templar Assassin. The counter-attack is here, and there's the Ravage. Fnatic now getting crushed. Literally crushed. Nothing they could do about that, and now it looks like Trixie going to have to back up here. He's at least thrown down the track now, so he's got the speed to run away if necessary. The ports are going towards mid. Moscow 5 continually fighting. Nexus getting ready to crush somebody. Going to charge in there. Got to look out for the slow though, but they get the slow down from Templar Assassin. The damage out there on Schneckles. Schneckles pops his ultimate. The stun comes out from Lina. Shackle as well. Can she get? No mana for Laguna Blade. They're just going to try and stack the DPS on Nexus. Nexus taking a lot of damage there from those DOTs. Pops his sprint, taking bonus damage now. Can he get away? Will the DOTs be enough? The slow there from Ledge. Nexus, no, gets sniped there by a power shot. Great shot from Windrunner, but they finally get the kill there on Venomancer. A shackle shot. Stalliana likely to fall. Stalliana goes down as well. Great counter attack from Fnatic. And as well as another Frost Blast being used there to slow down Windrunner. Windrunner though bottling up, going to try and heal up. Lich does have an urn on him. A couple of charges he needs to heal. Also his magic wand starting to pick up charges as well. Moscow 5 keeping the pressure on mid. Probably going to try and knock down that mid tower in just a second.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there we go. He's going to put pressure on the mid tower. Have a Schneckles is here. He has gone with the Plague build. Stock standard stuff is going to defend this successfully. Ports are going top. Yellow will be pointing top. That is the Slater. Going to be holding off. It's most of this creep wave there at the moment. And we've got Solo just trying to catch his farm. Looks like he is going for, and it looks like he's going for a mech now. We'll be picking that up, and his team definitely could use that. Slater has picked up a Ring of Health. There's something I saw the Chinese do was actually they pick up a Vanguard. In fact, speaking of Vanguard, there it is, done and dusted. Just being finished up by Slater. Then this does help him deal with the fact that with Sprint on, he's a little bit too squishy, so it sort of fixes things out. Other builds I've seen is him just rushing either the Blink Dagger or rushing the the Pipe of Insight as well, just for the magic resistance. And we see Bounty Hunter revealing himself for a second, then getting an Anchor Smash to the face for his troubles. Tracking, used there on Stallion to see what he's doing. Trixie now in some trouble. Are they going to? No, they decide not to go for it. I was about to say, are they going to throw a Chain Frost at him? Stallion wisely getting the hell out of there, and also Dread wisely holding on to his Chain Frost. The creep have been dragged in the jungle here. This is slightly problematic. They can't really use the Chain Frost as effectively as last time.
Dire's top tower is under
They've
attack.
cleaned up the creep wave now, and Fnatic need to be really careful about fighting the jungle like this. Black Hole is up, Ravage is up, Chain Frost is ready. They really don't want to fight without a creep wave here. It looks like the tower will have to be sacrificed. Not a lot they can do about it.
Dire's
Templar
top
Assassin
tower
taking the last
has
hit there, and it looks like most of the Dire heroes will be falling back at the moment. Nagasiren has rotated the bottom lane to farm. She just wants to get a farm happening. Has got... She just wants to get a farm happening while the rest of her team defends. She just wants to keep pressure on the bottom tower as well. At the very least, they might be able to trade. It's unlikely they can win this team fight, so his team is just going to try and delay the push on top, but there's not much they can do to win this fight. They will have to sacrifice this tower more than likely as well. Unless Nagasaran pulls back, they try and set something up, but as we saw, they don't have the burst to kill Solo. As Templar Assassin almost getting taken out of the tower, they're wisely using Meld to disjoint the last hit there. Is holding on Refract, popping it now. The teleports are coming from Titan. Titan holding off the push on bottom. As it looks like they've popped dust. Not dust, smoke to see. They're trying to get the hell out of there. Stalliona out of bottle charges, looking for the 14-minute rune. Doesn't find it. It's bottom. It's a illusion rune there. Stalliona likely to go and pick that up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And we see Tide Hunter, just still trying to farm against Era. Pops the Ravage straight away on one hero. The port gets cancelled. Nagasaran goes down though. Wasting her ultimate in the process. As you see, that has been used. Oh, that is unfortunate indeed. Was a little bit too slow. This she wasn't expecting Titan to go balls to the wall and blow the Ravage on just her. Titan managed to get the solo kill. The Bounty Hunter, interestingly enough, has gone for an Orb of Venom. Don't see that all that frequently. Lina gets taken out by Solo. Solo actually threw, wow, single target ults left, right, and center. Enigma threw a black hole down on just Lina. Which, I mean, with 6 Eidolons wailing away on her, that was enough to bring her down. See, Schneckles has gone for a Boots of Tranquility as well. Nexus now working on this mid tower. The port's coming in. Venomous Gale does not strike. Was not long range enough. It looks like Trixie has ported the mid lane. Can he try and set something up here? The tower is likely to get denied. And there it goes. Mid tower getting denied.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Era now heading back to the bottom lane. Bottom tower also being denied by Tide Hunter. Trixie just taking whatever farm he can find here. Looking at the farm here, Enigma is actually the biggest farmer at the moment, 74 and 5, followed by Slaughter 67, 19, and then of course 2 heroes from the Dire, Windrunner as well as the Nagasaran. Lich has picked up an early gem. Interesting, it looks like they're going to try and solidify their map control here. Let's get rid of those wards and counter wards. In fact, the Dire team really have been abusing those wards and counter wards, so plenty of sense picking up that early gem. And of course, it's also going to help them prevent. It's also going to make Bounty Hunter have to play very defensively and keep Lich, basically keep him from just feeding on Lich or someone. Templar Assassin though finding herself a double damage rune, bottling that up. Now 40 seconds here, and Titan has gone for that Piper's Insight. He has picked up the headdress, so for the Hood of Defiance, and he's going to pick up the headdress next. Has got one Iron Branch still in reserve, waiting to combine that. Lina, on the other hand, looks like she's doing most of the warding duties, along with Venomancer. Lina has not been able to pick up much farm at all. Bounty Hunter with his Ring of Basilius, a Ring of Aquila on Nagasaran. Venomancer will need some help here. It looks like the Radiant side, they are converging to push this bottom tower. Not just push this bottom tower, but with the range on the Sonic Trap, they could quite easily try and pick off Schneckles by himself under his tower. Even that deep in, they could quite easily run him down. I hear ports going out though. Somebody's gone back to defend mid. It is Linnea. She is going there to defend. Also with the help of Lich, they will try to hold it off. Well, it looks like Nexus is going to start putting pressure on this tower. Schneckles is just busy spamming Plague Wards just to try and keep the creep wave off the tower. See Pink pinging top saying, let's get him. Venomous Gale completely unsuccessful. Unfortunately, the low level Venomous Gale, the range is not being it's not doing fantastic work for him at all. He's struggling to land these gales. Templar Assassin, looks like they're motioning to go through the enemy jungle, through the Dire jungle, and try and pick somebody off. At the moment, 4 heroes in there, so that will be a fairly dangerous proposition. They do have a little bit of line of sight there, so they know exactly what they'll be walking into. It looks like they might even send Nexus in from the other side in a second. Nexus now working on an early BKB by the looks of things, has picked up the Ogre Club. More than likely to go for a BKB. It will definitely help out, prevent him from getting nuked down. But there we go. There's a Riptide there being used on Nexus. Nexus being stunned repeatedly. Goes for the Crush. Changes mind. Throws a Crush down. Lina throwing out the Laguna Blade. Not doing enough damage. And mass heals on Lina. Throws in Life Strike Array. She gets cleaned up in the end though. Lina's the first to drop. And now Nagasaran moving in. Just going to try and buy time for a team to teleport out. And there's that buzzkill moment I was talking about. You've got to fight and then Nagasaran just completely messes it up. Says, you know what guys, we're out. Peace out. We're gone. Templar Assassin has popped a double damage rune, finds herself an illusion rune to boot, maxing out her bottle once again. It looks like the Radiant will put pressure on the mid-dire tower. As we see Solo spawning his conversions now. They're going to charge in there. Nexus, I think he's finished up his BKB. Actually, no, he went for a Blink Dagger, I think. I'm pretty sure that's his, or it could belong to Tide Hunter. We'll see. Or is it Linnea's? In fact, it is Linnea's Blink Dagger, so she will be going for the mobility build. Won't be doing anything to do with the Mantis style first build. Lina now doesn't have her ultimate, throws down a light strike away. Nexus taking a lot of damage. She's hit there by a net. At the moment, they're going to throw the heals out. Enigma has popped his mech. They will manage to not pick up anybody so far. They're still working on Lina. Stun goes down. Looks at Windrun taking a lot of damage. Riptide once again. Lina comes back in, throws out the Dragon Slave. Does damage there to Solo. Solo needs to be careful. 10 seconds on Laguna Blade, but Lina kind of lacking merit at the moment. Needs Arcane Boots by somebody to get popped. Windrunner still has a mech up and running. I see Linnea backing off. 3 seconds before she can blink once again. It's hit by a track. Does get bounced though by Refraction. Tide Hunter is on full retreat. Also Slider teleporting out as well. And overall, no casualties. However, I believe somebody found themselves an Aegis. Yes, Slider did manage to pick up the Aegis. They finished off Roshan, got the Aegis. So, definitely, in the end, a win there for Moscow 5, even though they kind of got stalemated on the counter-attack against Heroes. See, farm there for Slider. Slider up to 95 and 19, 108 and 5 for Enigma. So, both those heroes farming quite well. 78 and 8 for Nagasara. Honestly, that's a little bit behind, but she has been coming under a little bit of pressure. Looks like Nagasara has picked up a Vitality Booster. I don't know if she'll go for the full Vanguard. I think she might just hold a Vitality Booster for a heart later. And may just get her, just get a damage item or something next. She really needs to be able to do something. At the moment, she's relying on this huge wombo combo with her ult set up, and it's just not landing. They're just not getting the stuns landed in, just not getting the nukes in. I think a lot of it's coming down to the fact that Lina hasn't hit a level 11 yet, and also the fact that she is just running out of mana. Left, right, and center, she really needs some Arcane Boots. Linnea is looking for someone to pick off. Has become visible. I don't know if she's realised this. I think she's actually, so she doesn't care. Gets hit by a shackle. But there's a refraction. Dodging all that damage. Power shot does nothing. Lina, though, pops the Laguna Strike. Can they finish off Stalliana? Yes, they can. Venomancer taking the kill there. Pipe was too slow to arrive. Titanite, though, with a pipe. They've got a pipe, got a mech. This is going to be very hard to deal with the Radiant lineup, especially since they've also got the heals there from Lich. Check the gold lead, 7.5k advantage there. Getting quite out of control. 10k experience lead as well. Looks like Moscow 5 is taking control of this match. They just do not want to let go. Trixie now still working on treads. He's quite far behind, although as I say that, his treads are done. Still a long way behind though. Looks like Moscow 5 going to push in on this mid-tier tower. Going to try and get rid of that. If they can get that, just remove some map control. Also going to open up racks, make it vulnerable. Meanwhile, Nagasaren is scouting while farming with her illusions. Going to teleport on home. They know there's trouble coming. They need to get in here. The slow's been thrown in there on Shackle. Shackle's in some trouble. There comes the stun. Light strike away. But look at that damage there from Linnea. Just melts. Absolutely melts Venomancer. No chance at all. Lina, again, unable to have any impact against this lane because every time she throws in a nuke, it's just bouncing off a refraction. This makes it incredibly frustrating for her. Also, the pipe is up as well, stopping a lot of damage as well. Then Shackle doesn't latch though. Slider still okay. Nexus does have the Aegis still, and he's about to finish up his BKB. The stun gets thrown down there. It looks like they're going to try and finish off. They get her. The Black Hole gets thrown out. Only gets Lina though. Shackle shot pins down Enigma. And it looks like they will kill Lina in the end though. But it looks like Nexus in some trouble. Mech gets popped there by the Radiant side. Windrunner hasn't used hers just yet. And a buyback there from Nagasaren. That will force Moscow 5 back. And it looks like they may not have backed fast enough. There we go. There's the Song of the Siren. Going to try and set this up. Can they get the Shackle line up? Hanny is looking for the Shackle line up. Can he get Linnea here? Doesn't actually fire off a Shackle in the end there. I don't know what went wrong. Decided not to do it. Maybe they're still discussing. Slow been thrown down there on Bounty Hunter. The kills guy. Venomancer gets picked up once again. That setup was complete fail there from Fnatic. They did not get the kills in at all. And now they're going to try and finish off Bounty Hunter. He's completely invisible. The Slow gets popped out. Tries to heal himself up. It looks like Track is going to be completely ineffective to get himself away. Linnea blocking all that damage and then just sitting there laughing. And now there's Chain Frost bouncing between three heroes. Lina taking a lot of damage. Era now getting hit by Crush, taking critical damage. She has been amped up. Era no escape. Pops a Riptide, but however Slider gets taken out. He will be back in a second. A triple kill for Slider. No, wait a minute, it's a triple kill for Stalliana playing Linnea, Templar Assassin. Slido pops back up with the Aegis. He's also still got a BKB off cooldown. And Moscow 5 now retreating. I honestly thought with that counter-attack, Fnatic should have landed some kills. They did not, though. Kind of disappointing indeed. Templar Assassin now finding herself a haste rune. And looks like Bounty Hunter still struggling to farm up anything at all. Now I'm just going to look at the overall GPMs. You see that this is the most telling thing here as they're slowly and steadily slipping behind here in terms of GPM. More and more Radiant heroes overtaking the entire Dire team. We see 3 on top of them right now. It's becoming quite problematic for the Dire. They're just falling behind in both experience and gold gain. You see there a 12k advantage for the Radiant side in terms of experience. Gold wise, a 10k plus advantage. It's just getting more and more painful by the minute for them. See there, looks like Nagasaren just trying to clean up as many crypt waves as possible. Of course, making use of her ability to split bomb. She has been still tanky up. She has actually picked up a stout, so it looks like she will be going for the full Vanguards before buying anything else. Slow being popped down there. The net goes down as well, managing to disjoint the net with a well-placed meld. See Lena now just farming with her Dragon, so she really, really needs some arcane boosts or mana boosters. She is just so many fights she's coming to and just doesn't have Laguna Blade or another spell up that she needs. It's been quite unfortunate indeed. See there, I think I heard a damage damp there, getting thrown out on Trixie. Trixie has been slow to a crawl. Look at that meld hit, so much negative armor. Nothing Bounty Hunter can do already with a level 2 damage amp on, and then you throw a level 4 meld in that. That's what? Negative 22 armor. Minus 22 armor. Bounty Hunter was at minus 11 overall. That is ridiculous. That's from the meld. Just blinked in, hit meld. And of course meld applies the negative armor before it actually applies damage. Just completely shredded Bounty Hunter in one hit. Absolutely ridiculous. Windrunner now. She has picked up a 4-star. Recipe anyway, she's still waiting on the quarterstaff as well, I believe. The Shackle goes in, pins down Nexus. Nexus though is kind of quite tanky at the moment, still has a BKB if necessary. He wants to have damage amp once again on Hanny. Hanny needs to be careful. If Linnea decides to go in, that could be bad news from anybody who's been damaged amped up. Is completely vulnerable to getting shredded in a couple of hits there. Track being spanned out. They're keeping an eye on Stallion. They know he's trying to try and lead things in here in a moment. Tidehunter as well, just going to sit up there, wail around the tower, going to try and not get target fired would be a good thing as well. See Lucius gets in, they're splitting up, they're going to try and hit as many people with Riptide as possible. There we go, Riptide goes down, negative armor being spread about, power shot going through, hitting the Lich as well. But unfortunately as it is, they are unable to drive him back. Fnatic's really struggling here at the moment to cause any impact on this team fight, mostly relying on the Plague Lords to hold the creep waves back, plus the remote nukes. There's another Riptide in their face. Nexus is farming away the front lines there. This cannot cut through. The Shackle shot latching there. Lich getting caught out. Shuriken being used. All nukes being tossed. Rather desperate there from Fnatic. Doing anything they can to hold on. Another Riptide there. Net again on Tidehunter. Tidehunter healing up though. And it looks like Moscow 5 have abandoned that push. They might just need to pick somebody off before they can push like this. Because at the moment, Fnatic are being very tenacious. Refusing to give any ground. In fact, so we're just going to push out there. Era also just catching up his farm once again. Tidehunter though has picked, it looks like he's got his pipe done. He's had it for a little while. Might be going for a blink next just to help lead the way. Lich hasn't actually been killed yet, which means he's still holding onto his gem of True Sight. Of course, one of the downsides of putting your gems on weak support heroes is they often get picked off at some point. A, you give away a gem to the enemy. B, it's just downright frustrating to lose. Smoky to see has apparently been thrown down somewhere on the floor for somebody to use. Enigma still farming it up a storm. He is going for an early BKB as well. That is quite happy. Moscow 5 like, you know what, let's just walk into these fights. We can do that. We can handle that because we're so damn tough compared to Fnatic. Nagasaren, 1400 gold in the bank. I'm just wondering if he's going to go for a cheap build like Diffusal Blade or even something like a Manta style early on, or if he will just try and save straight up for Radiance. Honestly, I think the Radiance at this point would be a mistake. It's just not going to have enough of an impact. They've already got a Pipe of Insight done. Might as well stack some more physical damage.
Lich
managed to deny yet another tower. Mid tower getting denied once again. Titan Hunter has been tracked up. Bounty Hunter backing up here. Doesn't want to get anywhere near that, which is with good reason. Now Nexus is in the bottom line. He's got his blink as well. Wow, they've got some really powerful blinkers at the moment. Templar Assassin as well as Slider can blink all over their targets and just cause all sorts of havoc for them. Pick people off quite easily. All that negative armor. Plus a meld hit does so much damage. See Schneckle still feeling quite, well, you know, he's got 1400 gold in the bank, so he's not that poor, he's just holding on to it for whatever reason he's felt like it. Bounty Hunter now also working on his own BKB by the looks of things, has picked up an Ogre Club. Yeah, Slider just going to use the enemy anchors just to catch up on his farm. And both teams playing quite passionate, both teams going into farm mode, just trying to get themselves any kind of edge that they can going into game number 3, assuming, well, this is game number 2 obviously, assuming that Moscow 5 carry this one out. They'll be looking for a game 3 in a moment. They can find that game number 3. It'd be damn good for them. Fnatic obviously want to try and seal this one, but at the moment 19 to 10, and they are just falling so far behind. Roshan being a 12k gold deficit, a 14k experience deficit. This is very, very difficult for them. Very, very difficult for Fnatic to avoid the the game number 3 popping up at the moment.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Templar Assassin, yeah, she's got a phase, but it looks like she might possibly be building a Lincoln's. Has picked up, yeah, she's picked up a Perseverance. Obviously, Nagasaren going to try and pick off Seto. No, she's just going to try and teleport herself out home to safety. And she does, there we go, the buzzkill moment. Leaving her illusions behind there to continue pushing the lane with a Riptide.